It's 31 days of ice swimming. So always with a little bit of color. I'm here with Katja Pantzar, and we're in Katja and Oka. And Katja wrote the book The Finnish Way in America, correct?
That's right. Yep.
Yes. And what's the UK title too?
It's called Finding Sisu.
Okay. And just for my audience a bit, what's the book all about?
In a nutshell, the book is essentially about when I moved to Finland, all the things that I discovered, everything from winter swimming to year-round cycling, to a whole bunch of other things, but how I learned to love the cold, embrace the elements, and learned all about the Finnish lifestyle and the well-being elements of it.
Absolutely. And as a fellow North American expat too, I thought you'd be the perfect guest to have on. So I'm really excited to go take a dip in. I won't leave you freezing anymore. We can head in real quick.
There we go. Did I manage to knock it over?
Oh no, you're great. You're great. I'm just keeping it recording. So you stay in for about 30 seconds to a minute?
About 30 seconds and get all the blood going, all the happy hormones.
All the endorphins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I'm tired or feeling like I have an ache or a pain, then this is the trick.
I do walking tours a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I just did a huge walking tour in this snow this morning.
Yeah.
And already my knees are feeling just amazing.
Yeah.
It's the trick.
It's totally the trick.
Yeah.
And I often say that I leave my stress, my worries, my sadness, aches and pains, tiredness, everything in the sea.
Absolutely. Just like the ice today.
Okay.
We can take out. We can get out. That's perfect. Thank you. Well, yeah, so we can keep the hats on for the interview. We just tucked away into a little cafe right near where we went swimming, just so I could get a few questions to Katja. So my first one is kind of like, what got you really into ice swimming, winter swimming, whatever you want to call it?
Actually, it was a total. I did not plan this at all. I'm a freelance journalist, and it was an assignment, and I just thought a friend offered to take me winter swimming, and I thought I have to try this, just like any good journalist has to try everything. Mm-hmm. And I really thought it would just be a one-off. I would try this thing that looked really unpleasant. And then I tried it, and I totally got hooked. And that was like the biggest surprise. If somebody had told me that I would end up becoming an avid winter swimmer who goes for different
kind of
day,
like a profit for it. Like,
I would have laughed out loud. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is. And do you have any advice for someone who's never done it before?
Yeah, oh, definitely. I do have advice, and I think it's really important safety, because there's like a huge cold water, winter swimming, ice swimming boom going on around the world. So I think safety is really important. So if you haven't tried it before, make sure that you go somewhere that's safe, and that means that you can get in and out of the water safely.
Yeah.
Make sure you have a change of warm clothes with you, and preferably water or maybe warm juice or something in your thermos, and be really careful with, keep your head and your extremities, have gloves, mitts, wool socks, whatever, so that after the dip you can warm up. And then when you go into the water, only go in so it feels good. So if it really feels then that's okay. You can come out. It's just a dip. You don't need to swim a marathon, and there's no rule that you need to stay in for a long time.
And you're not trying to prove anything to anyone but yourself,
Exactly.
too, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
There's no, it's not really a competition.
Yeah, that's exactly. It's not a competition. It is more about, you're doing something that helps you feel good, and, you feel this kind of sense of, I've done something tough.
It's a real sense of self-accomplishment too. No matter how you even if you just get your feet in too.
Yeah.
So I have to say too, this is where I'll talk about my mom for a bit, but she read your book and is a big fan. And I have to thank you too, because she used to think I was crazy for going ice swimming. And then she read your book and was like, oh, it's not too crazy. And she hasn't fully dipped in this winter, but she's like, I put my toes in at the beach in New Jersey. And I was like, all right, I'll settle with that as a consolation prize. But still, it's just kind of like feeling your body, getting how to know it. So I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's exactly what you said. It's not a competition, and it's something that you do. Yeah, you feel a sense of accomplishment, but also it makes you feel good. The cold water sets off, all the endorphins and stuff, and you have this high.
It's a huge chain reaction. I used to be a pretty competitive runner throughout like high school and everything, and it's like a runner's high times 1,000. Especially when you get out, it really like kicks it into hyperdrive.
I totally agree. It really does, and it's this thing that you can do that really doesn't take that long because you dip in the water for like 30 seconds or a minute, and you feel instantly better and more energized. And if you've been feeling a bit down or stressed or sluggish, suddenly you're like.
Yeah, I think that about wraps it up. Thanks for joining me today on day 30. My last day is tomorrow. I'll probably keep doing these. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep filming, but thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
All right. See you tomorrow.
His name is Matthew, and he's swimming outside in the cold in the month of January, and it's real, real cold.